Hi everybody and welcome back to my modeling channel. So today we're going to try to restore a 737-200 who was pretty damaged during relocation. Some parts have been missing, the undercarriage has been basically broken a couple of times, but mainly the paint was really destroyed, and I will show you a little bit closer and then you'll be able to see what we have. So what is coming here, you see that all the wrinkle on the paint, and that's the main issue we are facing. So I'll have to remove all the paint on the model itself. I will remove the wings and then I'll start to paint and put a new livery. So enough of talking and let's start renovating. So we're gonna start that restoration by dismantling the whole kit. So initially I will remove the wings and the stabilizer, and then I will remove all the paint. So for this I use a kind of a paint remover. It was coming in from the industry, and honestly I was not very happy because I realized later on that it starts to attack the plastic itself. But when I realized that, it was a little bit on the advanced stage. Mainly it happened on the tail, you will see a little bit later on. It was very easy to remove all the paint, as you can see, but too much product and then it really attacked the plastic. So what we did later on is there will be again a little bit of putting and sanding to correct all the damage was done to the fuselage. But nevertheless, I wanted to share that experience with you. As you know, we always learn from our own mistakes. So the main issue we'll see later on was on the tail, which require a little bit of extra work compared to the rest of the fuselage. So after that, when it was washed and dried, then I started to remove all that. I tried to correct the surface. It was not really nice and polished, so of course I'm going to use a lot of sandpapers. Remove also the extra paint remaining, but overall it didn't took such a long time as I was expecting after realizing the issue. So for this, well, of course I'm gonna use my usual sandpaper, the 600, and of course I'm gonna use at some point a sponge, an abrasive sponge with a grade, the equivalent grade of a 400. So after this we're gonna start to rescribe basically our panel lines. As I didn't damage too much the fuselage, the panel lines were able to appear on that 737, and some needed to be rescribed. So I used my old razor blade saw, and then of course the rescribing tool. So I'll do that for the overall fuselage at the moment. So after finishing the panel lines, I checked out. I realized also that I had some gaps again on the upper side of the fuselage, and I had also some damage around the tail due to the paint remover. So I decided to fill all those parts with some putty, and of course I had as well an extra layer on those passenger windows that you normally can. You always can see some remains, so I decided to rework on that as well. So while the putty was drying, I decided to paint, basically to start repainting the exhaust of that 737. And for this I use some dark metallic color, and I'll just paint it overall, which was not a big issue. Now we're gonna remove all the extra putty with some sandpaper, of course, and I'm using the 600 grit once again. So after fixing the wings on the 7.3, so it's time to move on, and I will have to add some, I will fill up all the gaps with some Tamiya putty. Of course, when it's dried, I thought that I could avoid repainting the stab, but I realized overall when I was removing all the extra putty that even the protected area with the tape was unable to be good enough, so I would have to repaint basically the all wings and stabilizer along with the model itself. So I will have to remove them, and you will see me removing at some point the adhesive tape that was supposed to protect the wings and the paint. As I decided, I said, okay, well, nevertheless, it was not worth it. So then, of course, once this is finished, I'm gonna repaint the corrugator, and for this I'm using that mix of metallic and dark gray color, and I'll paint it on the upper surface of the stabilizer and the wings. Then I will add a very light gray color, which is a mix of white and light gray color from Tamiya, and that's going to be for the overall wings, stabilizer, and the engine mount as well. After this, we're going to paint our engine, and I will repaint basically the exhaust all over again. And for this I'm using the exhaust color that I have, and after that we're going to do the leading edge, the engines, and for this I'm using a semi-matte aluminium color. Then we're going to paint our half fuselage, I mean the top and the middle part of the fuselage, with a bright white color, and then we're gonna have to let it cure for a couple of days to make sure that when we protect it, when we put the masking tape, there won't be any adhesive tape marks or any marks basically on the paint. So I'm doing normally those on a few two step, and then I let dry the model for a couple of days, sometimes even a week, and then when I come back I can do the rest. I can paint the rest of the fuselage. So after a few days we're gonna paint our tail with the royal blue color, and of course the underbelly of the aircraft with the same color. now fix the undercarriage, and for this I'm gonna use some super glue. As you can see, it's sometimes it takes a little while before it's drying out. So they were broken. I re-added some. The nose wheel was a 737-800 broken gear. This one disappeared, so I had to add as well a bit of a plastic card extension, and then I was able to fix that undercarriage, and then the plane was correct at the correct shape. Then we're gonna move on to the decaling process. For these aftermarket decals, I use a brand I've been using in the past that I really like is Liveries Unlimited. The decals are really easy to work with. They are really fine. They have the perfect strength, so you can play quite a while as well, and with them. So it's really very good brand I like to use, but unfortunately they are no longer on the market. So some people have stocks, and this is how you can buy them, from the Bay or sometimes from other providers. So I've been using that. So we're gonna initially add that yellow line, and that, as you can see, takes quite a while. I wanted to show you the full process, as it took quite a bit of time just to align this to the fuselage and to the overall color, make sure that everything is parallel, and so that's required quite a bit of work, but of course with a bit of patience we can get a very decent result. So then we're gonna add the engine logo, and then we're gonna move on to the aircraft livery itself, which is the Aloha Shem, the last one, and so we'll put it all around, and there will be a bit of fiddling, then we're gonna put the tail logo. But overall it's a real pleasure to work with those decals because they are really easy to handle. So we'll now work on the nose gear door, and for this I just did cut basically some plastic card, and then we're gonna paint them up with the same color, but for this I will use a paintbrush, of course, so it's gonna be a quick and an easy fix, and we'll do that, and after we're gonna move on to the right side decaling of the aircraft. I'm gonna do some little paint touch up overall the interior of the nose gear door, and then we're gonna paint the APU exhaust as well using the same color, pretty easy to do it, as I did the mark with a scalpel blade, and then we're able to paint using those guides. We're now back to the decaling process, and we're gonna add again that yellow line on the lower part of the fuselage. Then we're gonna move on to of course the company logo and the tail decals, and then we'll add all our passengers, windows, and doors, and all the rest. And this is now the last little parts. We're gonna add our antennas and rotating beacons, and then the plane will be ready for display. And this is the final result of that restored 737 from Airfix. I hope you enjoyed that restoration with me. If you did so, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you soon for another kit review and build video. Thank you for watching.